and the something with Dory. 5 days. So I guess we can do Dory first and see what's up with that quest first, and then go for the main mission. The main mission.
Oh, the sun's out. When did that happen?
Hey Dory, what's up with your missions? Oh, I thought they were going to have a voice. Have you decided to buy information from me? Paimon's a little curious about your exclusive information, but we need to hear the price first. If it's too expensive, then forget it. I will sell it to you for the fixed price of 1 million mora, dude. That's a lot. Never mind, 1 million mora can buy lots of tasty food. That's right, Paimon. Right now I'm like that. In my jobsy, real life jobsy. I don't care about extra thingies. Right now I'm focused on eating. Well, the basic needs. Wait a sec, let me see. Paimon is the customer number 1001 for today. The original cost of the information was 1 million mora, but for you the price is now free. Paimon didn't knew such luck exists. Wait, you're not baiting us into spending, are you? Maybe the first sentence is free, but not the next sentence. If you don't want it, fine. Next. Wait. Forget what Paimon said. We will listen. Door exclusive scoop number 1. Do you remember the diadem of knowledge? Paimon remembers that only the champion was entitled to wear the diadem. It seemed very valuable. Exactly, the diadem that Sachin gave the academia was a rather expensive antique. Yet this very diadem, after it was donated by the academia, was lost by them once before. Why didn't we hear about this? Hehe, if everyone knew about this, would my information still be considered exclusive? Of course, this information doesn't come from nowhere. I got witnesses too. There's a young fellow named Kashmir from the suburbs. If you are interested in delving further, you could ask him. The password is that incident from 20 years ago. Ooh. Come to Kashmir. That's kind of a little bit away. Itsy bitsy bitsy gitsy bitsy away. Dude, I forgot my lunch
It's so nice
for
to
my job
de-stress.
today. It sucked. I had prepared it and I was ready for it, but I couldn't use time to come back to get it. I had to buy food and water. I mean, it was not that much money, but the food wasn't that great either. Who are you guys? Is there something you need? That incident from 20 years ago. I guess I shouldn't have told anyone. Last time I had too much to drink and blubbered a little too much. And now people are seeking me out. Since you are curious, I guess I will tell you. I was just 6 years old 20 years ago, so I can't remember clearly what happened at the time. But recently I read the diary I kept when I was a child, and vaguely recalled the situation back then. The International Championship was also held that year. There were 3 rounds, the last of which was outside the city. I begged my mom to take me out of town to see it, and when she refused, I snuck out. And then I ended up getting lost outside the city. In the middle of nowhere, there was no one around. I grew more and more frightened and began to cry. That's when I saw some strange creatures. I can't remember what they looked like. I only remember how, as a child, I stopped crying at the sight of them. Strange creatures, they must be... They are an Nara. Oh yes, because he was a child. They took me to the competition. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, it was too late. It was already over. Just when I was disheartened, I suddenly saw one of those strange creatures slowly dragging a crown along. Dragging a crown along. It was a beautiful crown, shining in the moonlight, and I could not help but follow it. I saw the little fellow hide the crown in a hollow tree before disappearing. I wanted to touch that crown, but at the moment I could hear the distant cries of my mother. It turns out she figured out I was lost and got her neighbors to go look for me. I never got to touch it. It wasn't until I was older when I saw the diadem of knowledge at the Darshan Championship that I realized it was the same thing. Alright, do you remember where the diadem ended up? It's probably in the Avidya forest, but I have been back a few times and I haven't found anything. No one would believe me, even if I told them. Alas, when I can't remember it clearly. Even I can't remember it clearly. Perhaps it was a dream I had when I was a child. Well, shouldn't we go look for it, Lumine? Yes, Paimon. I thought we were going to visit the arenas and ask for directions. But I guess we can do this because there's a new event in Genshin, and probably weekly quests in Fortnite that I may be able to do tomorrow. Depends, because at the point I'm recording this, it's going to be Mother's Day tomorrow, so I may not have time to do that. Anywho. Ooh, what a hollow mega tree. Oh, look. What do we have here? There's a hole in the tree. It seems completely empty, and there's nothing in it. Hey, wait, there's a note here. The good Nara taught Arakasyapa how to read. Arakasyapa must protect the good Nara. What's this supposed to mean? That a human sage taught these guys? Faint traces of writing can be seen on the weather note. The good Nara thought, okay, must protect him. Oh, I'm stealing from some Aranara. Maybe there's no Aranara left here. Back to Dory, I guess. Well, if it isn't Lumina and Paimon yet again. I mean, Dory probably went to the tree trunk and tried to find the crown. I have the latest update on the Academia Extravaganza. Would you like to hear it? How much is it? It's free. It's in Lord Sangema Bay Generous. Do you guys remember Sachin? The guy who sponsored the Academia Extravaganza? Salmon heard that the prize money and diadem of knowledge came from him. Bingo! In fact, not long ago, when I was doing business in the desert, I met an old businessman. And guess what I got from him? Leader ledger! With it, I can avoid dangerous areas in the desert and go to more places. Of course, the most important thing is that the ledger mentions Sachin. It turned out that Sachin had been to the desert to investigate the people's local conditions and customs. He also had cordial exchanges with the traveling merchants in the desert. Much of the text is lost, but this is a first-hand account of the big sponsor behind the Academia Extravaganza. Would you like a look? Okay, let's have a look then. All papers. The sandstorms are raging. The caravan has stalled. We ran into a scholar calling himself Sachin. He said he could sponsor the caravan, provided that we... This is a trial of human nature, the trial, plunder. There was nothing we could do, no one could withstand. If I could do it all over again, I would never have taken that money. Ooh. Then they wouldn't have to die, and I wouldn't be living like this, a fate worse than death. People are the most terrifying animals in this world. Oh, dude, what happened? This is so hard to understand, Dory. What does this all mean? What does this all mean? I'm afraid that if you need it analyzed, it will cost you an extra million more. Forget it then. Well, since you are not paying, that will be all for Dory's special news. But let me give you a hint. There should be someone here who's been to a lot of Academia Extravaganzas. Perhaps you could talk to them. Bloom. Someone from the venue. Oh, dude. Bloom, bloom, bloom. Bloom, 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 bloom. Plum 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 plum. Plum 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 plum. I will try and finish up this mission so we can go to the bigger mission maybe tomorrow. But today, man, alas, seeing these young children, I can't help but reminiscence about the past. The International Championship has always been a stage for young talent. Unfortunately, not every genius will be successful eventually. Why do you say that? Geniuses are mostly stubborn and cold, and find it hard to understand the pain of others. People, on the other hand, often fall into self-doubt and depression. People who are not firm can only stand still, while people who are determined... I like these ones. While people who are determined but walk down the wrong path refuse to look back. Okay, people who are not firm can only stand still, and people who are determined but walk down the wrong path refuse to look back. They are focused on keep walking even if they are wrong. There's a lot to think about here. Okay. Have to... Hey, Huishka. For this year International Championship, my favorite has to be Saino. Aside from his skills as the General Mahamatra, looking back at the tournament history, the Spantama Darshan has the highest percentage of champions. Say that the Spantama produces people such as Cyrus, Rusika, Lisa, Saino. The brighter the talent, the sooner the game will lose its suspense. The most exciting competition was still 20 years ago. At that time, my friend also participated in the game, and I went there to cheer for him. The last round was played in the Avidia forest. In the end, no one dared to approach them, and no one knew what was going on in the depths of the forest. Then I heard the Academia shut down the competition. Later, the International Championship removed many of the events in which people fought to the death, discouraging people from being desperate enough to do so. What? What did your friend? You just among the so disappeared and now give conclusion. Looks like to seek him out in sessions. Now that we have the time, why him? I mean, they were fighting to the death. They were into heavy. Oh, dude, I'm getting sleepy. I think after this, back and if the sleep doesn't
Next
me,
on the agenda.
I will do my dailies on Fortnite. Hi, Wicca. That incident from 20 years ago? Quite a sudden question. Did you hear any particular information? We have heard that the diadem seems to have been years ago, and contestant personality has changed. You seem to know a lot about that. Because there's something you're telling us? Not exactly. I was 5 years old when it happened. I know. But there are things I have never told anyone. I'm actually part of the Academia Extravaganza Planning Committee because of the influence of a senior colleague. That senior colleague and I went on a trip. He was a bit timid and would always flee and cower somewhere at the first sign of an emergency. One day, 4 years ago, I said to him, I want to go back to the Academia. The Academia Extravaganza is about to begin. And then, upon me mentioning the Academia Extravaganza, he got startled and said something about nothing to do with me. When I said goodbye to him, he insisted on getting a drink with me. After several drinks, he started talking all sorts of nonsense. I also had too many, and in my drunken stupor, I didn't really hear him that well. I only remember that he said that he lost the diadem of knowledge for a while. He was in charge of the distribution and recovery of the knowledge, and that he nearly had a heart attack upon realizing that the diadem was missing. Fortunately, he finally found it on a tree hole. Like the one we saw before. He said that the diadem of knowledge is a very valuable treasure, which is recorded in many ancient books. Legend has it that it was built by a famous craftsman in ancient times and carries a secret that no one knows. Sachin had entrusted the academia to safeguard the diadem. After all, if my senior was responsible for the diadem's disappearance, he could not afford to pay for it with his meager wealth. Even if the loss was temporary, no one should know of it, lest the academia find him guilty of gross negligence. So he... Yes, it seems that he also said that many people came to inquire about it, including children, but he said that the diadem had never been lost. But he was so scared that when things blew over, he quit his job and left the academia. I drank too much that night, and when I woke up the next day, he was gone. The more I thought about it, the more I had a bad feeling that issues would crop up in the Academia Extravaganza if entrusted to someone like him. I didn't have a job at the time, so I joined the Academia Extravaganza Planning Committee. I tried to investigate things on the inside too, but I couldn't find anything. The diadem was found, and the man whose personality was said to have changed was dead. And there was nothing to be found. Dude. Still 20 years ago is still a long time. Long enough for the people involved from the beginning to no longer remember nor care. Or misremember. That's all I know. If you are curious, keep investigating and maybe one day you will discover the truth. That's easy for you to say. We don't have much to go Do you have any more information? Like where the senior colleague went? I haven't heard from him. Later, I also went to the desert to look for him, but in the vast desert, it was almost impossible to run into him. To make up for it, I do have some information on Sachin. Would you like to hear it? Sure, tell us. When I was traveling, I did so with an eremite commander. While we were chatting, he said he came into possession of an article written by an academia researcher. He seemed to think that it was something precious and refused to show it to anyone, only to let me pick it at my request. I only caught a glimpse of it, but I saw that it was signed by Sachin. I didn't know who Sachin was, nor did I care. After joining the Academia Extravaganza Planning Committee, I found out that he was an important member of the Darshan who sponsored the event. If you are interested, you can find the Eremite commander in the desert. He's usually in the Valley of Dari. Information related to Sachin? Alright, let's go take a look. Dude, we are just bouncing like a ping pong ball. Dude, it's still money. To have something. What do you want? Wow, this guy looks real fierce. Either say your piece or leave. I have no time for you. Actually, we heard that you have Sachin's articles on you, so we were wondering if we could have a look. Are you kidding me? No, why wouldn't you ask that? It seems like you guys really don't know. Some time ago I had the article praised. Turns out it's nothing more than a personal travel journal, and it's of little value. I hired my father to keep it safe. That Sachin fellow would often walk, ask, write, and mumble. There was a time his papers were blown away by the wind. He's a big deal. My father, however, thought that intellectuals must be valuable, so he looked around for them at night with a torch. A moment and read. My father cherished this article and then passed it on to me. I had no idea it was completely worthless. Sounds unfortunate, but do you still have it? Yes, you want to have a look? You can look at it as much as you want, since it's not worth anything. There's no need for me to be so stingy. Ooh, unclear notes. Once the gods reign supreme, ooh, all life flocked to them like sheep seeking shepherds, and those who suffered did so in silence. Now divine power has dwindled while human wisdom has blossomed. However, those who suffer face suffer. There is in, and in that things are but both. Ooh. The time turned, and throughout history is human nature. I did a total of 64 experiments over the course of years. Men are like prisoners or captured animals. feeding on each other's happiness until one is doomed to eternal torment. Therefore, where there is gain, there must be loss. Yeah. Where there is happiness, there is agony. Where everyone is a victim, but everyone is also a perpetrator. Greed and numbness reside in the heart of humanity, driven by greed. Humans choose to commit evil, and numbness is why they turn a blind eye to the evil of others. Whoa, dude. So profound that. Greedy. What a greedy guys we are. But if this is what the world is, what is then the meaning of the world? The future is to the present as the present is to the past. Peace was never an option. Conflict is the eternal truth. From my knowledge, my wisdom to my life is but nothingness. So the article that Sachin wrote, to be honest, Paimon can't make sense of any of it. But judging from the crummy handwriting, Paimon can't say exactly why, but Paimon has the feeling he was going through a tough time. Well, we're done reading it. Thank you very much. You're welcome. It's not worth any money, but I'm going to keep it anyway. After all, my father entrusted it to me. Come see me again if you want to look at it again. Ooh. Completed. Ooh, we need to do complete. So it seems we have to now actually complete them. Go to our village to do the main quest. And a break. A long break. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will try to finish up this quest since it's like 5 days left to advance the next the new event and do weeklies on Fortnite. So I will be seeing you guys later.